didn't think nothing of it because he said he was living with his uncle, and then he can't tell me that he gotta go back to his uncle. So it made more sense for him to be like, oh, I gotta go make a run. I gotta go make a play. He was like, I'm gonna come back. So I was like, oh, okay, so I ain't think nothing of it. So child, it was already like the wee hours in the morning. It probably was like around 3 or 4 in the morning. So I'm thinking like, okay, he probably gonna be back in another 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever. And by that time, it's gonna be time to go to the hotel. Before I fell asleep, actually, he called me and he was like, damn, babe, it's gonna take a little longer to do XYZ and I gotta be waiting in the car and da-da-da-da. So again, when I'm telling y'all, this is normal. These are the normal things that he would do. I ended up talking to Bob later on in the day, and we didn't even really speak about the situation. I just was like, whatever. I wasn't really thinking about it because I had my own goals and shit that I needed to get done and things that I needed to work on to be productive. So I wasn't really on it like that. I noticed when I came back to New York, he seemed a little distant. I don't know, like we weren't hanging out as much. I didn't see him as much. There was one time where he was like, he was gonna come to see me like my mom's house. And I was like, okay, and it was like morning time, like around like 10 o'clock or something like that. And he came over and we was hanging out. And so the uncle that he talking about that I know, that uncle live in Queens. He told me that he was gonna come over, but when he came over, I felt like it took him no time to get there. From the time that I spoke to him and the time that we were discussing he was gonna come, he got there like this. And I said to myself, no, matter of fact, I didn't even say it to myself. I was like, well, where did you come from? And I'm like, you came from Queens? And he was like, yeah, I came from Queens. I took an Uber. And I was like, you took an Uber? He was like, yeah. I'm like, you got here pretty fast. And he was like, oh, but Queens is like right there. And I'm like, yeah, but no, you got here kind of fast. So let me tell y'all, right? You know what? I'm not even gonna spoil it for y'all. I'm gonna wait until we get to that part. This dude is crazy. Y'all hear me? I'm so sorry for the noise. Like, y'all gotta excuse my son. Like, he didn't go to therapy today, so he's home. So he is just like going crazy. Yeah, so anyway, so months was going by. Like, when I tell y'all months was going by and it just like I was not seeing Bob, and you know, every time I would bring it to his attention, he would just be like, oh, you know, I'm trying to hustle up this money for us so we can move into a new apartment and this and that and da-da-da. Like, child just stringing me along, just telling me a bunch of nonsense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stories after story after story. Like, at this point, I had been asking him questions like, where you live at? Why you don't never bring me where you live at? Like, why you never invite me over? Like, why you never do this? Why you never do that? So I guess like he was realizing like, damn, like she's on it now. Like, you know, because before when I came, I was like hyper focused on what I needed to do for myself. And I wasn't really thinking about hanging out and stuff like that, so it wasn't really bothering me. But like after like a couple months, I started to realize like, no, something ain't right, like something's wrong, like, you know what I'm saying? But I knew that at this point I was like, no, something feels off, something is off. You know, when you just know that women's intuition, you're like, nah, something's going on. But I couldn't really pinpoint what was happening. Like, I didn't know like anything. Like, yeah, like I don't know what it was, but it was just like initial feeling. It was the feeling that I had was just like, something ain't right. Like, I don't know what it is, but something's off, but I'm gonna figure this out. One day, out the blue, I would never forget, I was hanging out with a friend and we were at her mom's house. So I remember distinctly because I think it was like spring break, because my daughter's father took her to Disney or something like that in Florida with his family and stuff. They had went and took her there. So I remember I was by myself. So I remember going back home from my friend's house. I was in the Uber. Somebody hit me up from Bob's page. So I look, now mind you, I don't really know what the message says. I'm just thinking that it's Bob. So they hit me up from Bob's page and I click it and I'm reading the message and it's from a girl. I'm reading it and my heart started pounding so fast because I just knew, like I told y'all before, like I had something in the pit of my stomach, like something is not right, something's not right, whatever. So she was like, yeah, I would really appreciate it if you stop contacting my man and da 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 da. So I'm like, your man? I'm like, girl, who's your man? So she's like, Bob. So I start laughing. I was like, sweetie, I think that you are thoroughly confused, because there's no way that he could be your man. No way, it's not possible. I said, how is he your man when I've been with him for like 7 or 8 years? What are you talking about? So she was like, what? Oh, I heard about you. I know about you. You his ex. So I started laughing and I said, wait, that's what he told you? So anyway, it was a lot going on for me, right? Because at this time, Uber's in front of the building. It's about to drop me off. I was so distraught. I had so much anxiety. It was a lot for me. I was just like, I knew something was going on, but I was like, damn, I really ain't think that he was that disrespectful, that you would have some roach contact me. Like, I just was like, first of all, I know y'all could tell from the way I'm even talking to y'all right now. My mind, I was not there at all. I felt like crap. Like, I felt like shit. Like, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I felt so freaking bad. So I was like, I said, hold up. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. As I'm in the Uber, I'm going back and forth with her in the DM. So then, before I could get out the Uber, I get a call. So I answer the phone, and it's a girl, and she's like, yeah, so she said something. I don't remember, because keep in mind, y'all, that this is like a couple years ago, so it's not that fresh in my mind. But she said something to me, and I was like, excuse me? And she said something about Bob. And she was like, what about Bob? That's my man. And I'm like, so I was like, sweetie, I just told you in the DM that he wasn't your man. I just told you that I've been with him for like 7, 8 years. There's no way this person can be your man. So she was like, what are you talking about? No, you didn't. This is my first time calling you. So now I'm like, wait, what the like, my mind was blown at that time. So I said, hold up. I gotta get my shit together. I said, hold on, sweetie, I'm gonna call you right back. So I hang up and I get all the way upstairs and I get inside, and now I can focus. So I call the person back, and I'm like, yeah, so like, who are you? And she was like, she says who she is, and she says that she's dealing with Bob. How Bob lives with her. So I'm like, oh, Bob lives with you. And I'm like, and where do y'all live? And she's like, in Harlem. So now, like, it's making sense, because remember when I said he had came over to my mom's house and he got there pretty fast? And I was saying to myself, like, I mean, I know you in a car, but like, even coming from Queens to the Bronx is not that fast. So he got there pretty fast from the time I spoke to him till like, it's from to when he got to my mother's house. And I was just like, no, that was way too quick. That was like you was right there. Either you was right here in the Bronx or you was like in Harlem. That's what it seemed like. So when she said she lived in Harlem, I'm like, oh, that made sense. He really got his ass up, got dressed, and came to me. Like, I was like, I don't know, like I'm some other girl. When I tell you, this man is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. When I tell y'all he crazy, because the way his mindset was just bugged out. Now you with a whole nother chick living the life that we was living for all of these years. Now you're doing that with somebody else, and then you're coming over to me like I'm some side piece or something. When I tell you, this shit was insane. I don't even realize all of this at the way I'm telling y'all is not what I realized at that moment. It didn't register to me yet. Now that I know that he's like a narcissist and I know his behavior and stuff like that, now I could tell y'all like, this is what he was doing. But like that time, my mind didn't even go that far. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now me and her get to talking. She's telling me like, all this stuff or whatever. Like, he be paying her bills. He be doing this. He be doing that. And I'm like, girl, he don't got money like that to be paying your bills and to be doing everything else that he be doing. I don't know if she was just putting on for me. Because, you know, sometimes these women, when they know that it's another female involved, they like to lie and they like to say certain things. And I'm not saying that she was lying or she wasn't. I'm just saying that I could kind of filter what was the truth and what was a lie. That's all I'm saying, because I've been with this person for too long, and girl, he ain't never paid no rent where we was at, and even when he did pay the rent, it got paid in the very beginning as a lump sum. And he ain't even pay that. The little young kid from Cali was the one who paid for it. So I'm listening to her and she's telling me like, yeah, he pays my bills. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't, because he didn't even pay my bills. You understand what I'm saying? He always owed rent. Everywhere he went, he owed rent. He ain't never paid rent for a full year, nowhere that we lived at. So now I'm like, girl, you're not gonna give me the okie doke and get me to thinking. First of all, I don't even care whether he paid your rent or not. I'm thinking more so along the lines of like health. You sleeping with these people unprotected, because I know that we sleeping around unprotected. So my thing is, like, you that careless that you would sleep around with these people unprotected too? Because you acting like you're her man. This person is living with her, so she's thinking this is her man, and this is supposed to be my man. So if you're sleeping with me unprotected, it makes sense that you would sleep with her unprotected too, because you're acting like you're her man. Like, you're acting like y'all are in a monogamous relationship. Meanwhile, you just spreading yourself around to all these different women, right? Okay, cool. So me and her get to talking, we going back and forth. I spoke to her, and then I spoke to the other girl that spoke to me in his DM on Instagram. And there was another girl that was like PR girl that was supposed to be doing PR for him, that he ended up messing with her. And I tell y'all, it was a mess, a whole entire mess, okay? Then there was some other girl. I think I must have spoke to like 4 to 5 girls. And there was another girl that was from Cali. She came, and this one was just, child, when I tell you, I was turned off and I was disgusted, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because this girl was like how she was a mom, she had a son, and how she was from Cali, but she moved to New York to be with him because he said that they was gonna be together. And I'm like, so in my mind, I was like, I'm starting to get to thinking, and I'm like, wow, like it was a lot to take in for one person. Like I said, it wasn't like it was one girl and I was just focused on the one girl. It was like 4 different women that I had spoke to, that they all had a different story, which was quite strange to me. This one moving from Cali to come live with you here. This one, she does PR for you, but you're sharing intimacy with her. Like, you're telling her about your family issues and what happened with your mom and what happened with your dad. You was getting real intimate with her. This one, you're actually living with her. You're driving her car. You're picking her up from work. You're doing this. It was, and then you got me, who you've been with for like 8 years. That's just like, whoa. Like, what's happening, right? So now, finally, I was just like, okay, babe, I don't want to be with you. This is over. This is not gonna work for me. I was literally like, the way I'm explaining it to y'all now, I'm so happy that I'm in this space to where I can explain it in this way, and it's like I don't break down crying, or I don't have to stop because my emotions is still attached to those feelings. I was in the worst position ever in life, so I felt like, you understand what I'm saying? I was like, the audacity of this person. And the reason why I felt like that was because, again, I had already told y'all, like, when I was going to St. Thomas, I asked him, I didn't even ask him, I said to him, I stated, I feel like we should go our separate ways. Maybe we should take a break, so you could do your thing and I could do my thing. And if we come back together and it makes sense, and we'll be together. He was like, no. So you trying to tell me that you fought, you was like, no, you cried and did all of that so you could cheat on me? Because you could have definitely been messing with those girls and not been with me. What was the point in you staying with me to then do that with those females? That's what I don't understand. Because I gave you a clean slate where you could have just went on about your business and you could have did whatever you wanted to do, and it wouldn't have been nothing. You understand what I'm saying? And I would just understand it. I'd be like, yo, he gotta do what he gotta do. Like, you gotta go sling your little ding-a-ling like a gigolo just so you can have a roof over your head and go be a nomad. Baby, go do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You could do that. The point is, you're not doing that with me. Like, why string me along? That's what I didn't get. Like, we didn't have to be together. We were already living separately. So it was just like a smack in the face. It was just downright low down. And then I felt like it was just a flat out embarrassment. His mother knew what was going on because his mother would allow him to bring these women to her house and she would act like she didn't know nothing about the situation. Oh, homegirl knew about the situation. His mother, when I tell y'all, was just flat out raggedy. You understand? And I blame her, because this is why your son is the way that he is, because you did not raise him properly. You did not raise him correctly. It's no way. Like, I have a little boy, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. If my son come to me and tell me that he has a girlfriend, this is his girlfriend, you cannot bring no other woman to my house. I don't play like that. I'm a woman. Have some respect. You understand what I'm saying? His mother would allow him to bring all these different women, like she was his pimp or something. It was okay in the fact that, like, he was like, oh yeah, look at her, ma. Yeah, I got this one, I got that one. And you know what was weird? Thinking back, right? Again, now that I've gone through the situation, I remember that his mother used to be making little comments, like when she would see my son and she would be like, oh my God, he's so cute. She was like, girl, well, you know he a clown. I used to always be like, what does that even mean? What do you mean, these men? Like, you know, like that's Bob's last name. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, them men, what? Like, what does that mean? Because my son will not be raised like that at all. My son is going to be taught to be self-sufficient, where he don't need a woman at all. I don't want my son dependent on nobody, no woman. I don't want him running around just sleeping around with women and have a roof over his head. That's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? And this is the way that she raised Bob. Bob is literally a nomad. Bob is literally like a voyager. When I tell y'all, he just be exploring the world, and he just be like, but not on some like exploring the world. Like, he's literally just exploring different supply so that he can have a roof over his head, because he's not paying any bills. He don't have his own place at all. He's literally always living with a female. This is like literally classic narc. He meets someone, he jumps into bed with them, he's living with them, period. Like, that's the way it goes. I don't know. So anyway, let's move on. I found out about all those women, you tell Bob, I don't want to be together. That's it. And when I tell y'all, just like a narc, he begging and pleading and, oh, I got us this new apartment, which he did. He found a new apartment in Yonkers, New York. And I was just like, like I was thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. I had been with this person for years. He was supposed to be my best friend. Everything, like my whole world. Y'all know what it is to be with somebody and be with them for like 8 years. Y'all do everything together, and then all of a sudden, like, gets crushed. The thing about it too was that I was ready to leave. At that very moment, I was ready to leave, because I was like, you know what? I knew deep down inside, and this is why, again, I had to take accountability for the part that I played in this, because I knew after he cheated with those women, I knew that the relationship would never be the same. I'm not even the same person. Think about it. After someone does something like that to you, you're not the same person. You're definitely not going to be the same person that I met you. You're not going to be that same person to them. You're going to be different, because you actually have to realize that you have to go through the motions of your feelings. Even though I took him back after, you know, we had a long conversation for weeks and we kind of was deciding on what we was gonna do. Emotionally, I still didn't get to really go through the motions of healing those emotions. Like, it was really hard for me to like trust him. It was hard for me to look at him in a certain light. I didn't look at him the same no more. I just look at him, a person that could hurt me. Like, he was hurting me, basically. I was like, damn, okay. Us to make this work one last time, you know, I'm gonna need you to do this. I gave him a disclaimer, and I was telling him, I don't want any of those women in my life. I don't want to hear about them. I need them to be blocked. I need those women to disappear, okay? I don't want to hear nothing about them. I don't want to ever hear their name being brought up. They need to be blocked on every platform. They need to be blocked from your life. They need to be blocked from your phone. They need to just be erased. You understand? For me to be like thriving in this relationship with you, because baby, if not, this is not gonna work. So he was like, okay, babe, okay. He was agreeing to everything. He was like, yes. I'm like, all right, cool. We move into the apartment, and we're there, and we're furnishing everything. Like, everything's cool, but it's definitely not the same. I don't trust him, but I'm trying to be present. The thing about it that I did understand is that if I was going to take him back, I needed to work on forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying, but yeah, it's really hard to actively forgive someone that is like breaking your spirit, like continuously doing things, like continuously seeing other women and dating other women behind my back and acting like he's single when we're really together, like want me to play like the wifey role and all of this stuff. Like it was just really insane. So we're in the apartment and we was going strong for like a good month, 2 months, and then one of the girls that I spoke to, well, the actual one that called me on my phone, I see that she's calling on his phone. So I'm like, so now that's a whole argument, like we going off. Now I'm going off, like, so now I'm like, yo, you still talking to this bitch and da 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 da. And at that moment, between me and y'all, I knew it was never gonna work out between me and him, because he just wasn't playing fair. I think that this man thought I was stupid, or he thought that I had low self-esteem, or he thought I was insecure. He really must have thought I thought low of myself, that I was never gonna get up out of that situation. I was never gonna leave that situation. He felt like I was codependent on him. I don't think he thought that I was independent for whatever reason, which was ironic because when he met me, I told y'all in the first episode, I told y'all that I was working at a salon. So I was never a lazy girl or a lazy woman where I just didn't want to work and I wanted a man to take care of me. Bob was the one that would always be like, you need to let me help you. I'm here to help. You need to let me do this. You need to let me do that. Which is so ironic. Like I told y'all, when I met him, I was working. My money was fine. The minute he came into my life, everything kind of stopped. So now it was like I was literally codependent on this person. Every job I try to get or anything I try to get, nothing. I was not being blessed while I was in that connection with that person. Everything I tried to do would go to shit. And I don't know why. And in the back of my mind, I think that it was like something spiritual going on. But we gonna touch on that way down in these episodes. The closer I get to the end, we gonna start touching on certain things and I'm gonna tell y'all. But yeah, like it got to the point where it was like I was codependent on him because everything that I tried would not work. And again, I'm not a lazy person. I'm a really like a go-getter. I have accolades of things that I have done in the industry and everything like that. So why would this man come around and all of a sudden it's like, I want to be some housewife? No. That doesn't make any sense. Like my dude is like gonna pay all the bills and I still can work and get more money. That's even better for me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to just sit around and be like, oh yeah, I'm not doing nothing. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Honestly, I could never be a stay-at-home mom. That shit would drive me up a wall. I can't. Like staying home with a kid all day is just, I mean, I can do it. I have kids. I stay home with my kids and it's cool, but that whole stay-at-home mom where it's just like you just taking care of kids like every day, all day, 24/7 is not something that I would want to do. I'm sorry guys, it is so hot and I need to put my hair up because it was annoying me. I would not want to do that. Like, I love my kids and I love kids in general, but I just don't have the time to just be sitting down with kid all day, every day, just being at home. And it's not even about being just with kids. It's just like cooking, cleaning, doing laundry. That's not me, baby. I'm a modern day woman. I can do that stuff. I'm very much so a caregiver, nurturer. But the way that I want to live, child, we gonna get somebody in here to come do this while we both gonna go hustle. But it just seemed like every time I tried to do something, it would never pan out. And I'm talking about, I done did so many things, and when I got in this relationship with Bob, nothing. It was almost like he was draining me of my light. That's what it felt like, because I started to feel like, dad, everything that I try to do, like, it's just never panning out or it's not going through. And that was not the lifestyle I had prior to him. Prior to him, everything I do, everything I touch was gold. Everything I touched went platinum, like, you know what I'm saying? So when I got with him, it just, everything shifted and I couldn't understand why this was happening, right? So I definitely felt like it was something spiritual going on. I said to him, I thought that these women were blocked. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. You know, of course he tells me a story. Basically how these men do. I was just like, you know what? I need to just think about Miko. And from then I started to move just about me, my daughter, and that's really it. That's the only thing I was really focused on. And we stayed there, we were in Yonkers, and then I got a DM from another female, and this one by far was interesting. She had DM'd me, her and I spoke, and it was just like a lot through text, so I had told her to call my phone, so I sent her my number. When I sent her my number, she called me. She had informed me that him and her had been sleeping together unprotected. Showed me pictures of her baby laying there with them in the bed. Now mind you, at this time when this chick told me that he had been staying with her at her house, this dude would be leaving my home, the home that we have together with my daughter, and tell me that he's going out of town to be this street dude and go do what he do and make his plays. Meanwhile, he's somewhere in the Bronx sleeping at some chick house. And then I would be calling him and he would be acting like, oh, he don't got no service. He acting like he in Mexico. And child, when I tell y'all, I can't. I'm so happy that I'm at the moment where I can laugh now, because back then it wasn't funny at all. But now it's just like, it's such a joke to me. He used to want me to believe that he was with the people. Like he was some big wig and he was with the people and he was out of town and he couldn't get no service and all of this and that. Mind you, his little raggedy ass and somewhere in the Bronx up under some female staying at her house. She cooking and cleaning. He driving her car. All kind of shit. Okay? So when her and I got to talking and she was telling me he even had a court date, I'm like, yeah, I know he got a court date. I'm gonna know he got a court date. So she knew about the court date. So I'm saying, if you wasn't staying with her, how does she know about your court date? How does she know about anything pertaining to you that's on a more personal level? Like, how does she know that? Because you over there acting like you her man. You know what I'm saying? You over there acting like y'all together. So what happened was the girl found out about me. She found out about me on Instagram. Other people know me on Instagram. So she found out about me from like this photographer that's really known in the industry, and he was like, yeah, that's my girl, and that been his girl for years. I know her, that's my people's, whatever. So she was like, what? So she must have threatened him to tell me, and he was like, oh, I don't care what you do or whatever. And because I guess he wouldn't do what she wanted him to do, and baby, she came and she hollered at me. And then when I asked him, I said, yo, some girl hit me up talking about this and this, and he was like, yeah, it's true. I was like, oh, I was like, okay. So when I tell y'all, I threw all his shit the fuck out, okay? All of it. I didn't care what it was. Like, I threw all winter jackets, clothes, ab roller, gym shit. I was like, oh, you gonna be fat. You gonna be wearing the same thing like Bart Simpson every freaking day. You go, yeah, you, baby, So I think he thought that I was lying when I said threw all his stuff out. Child, I threw all his stuff out. Some of the stuff I done sold to like some of these little thrift stores or whatever he had that was like 𝐀𝐬𝐬s and jerseys and shit. I sold them, got some money for them. Yeah, because you played yourself. Who do you think that you're disrespecting? Why do you think that you can play in my face? Are you insane? And then you're having unprotected sex with this person? So my thing is like, you could play Russian roulette with your life all you want. But to then come to me and be dirty, knowing that you sleeping with these people unprotected, and you coming to me and you doing the same thing, I'm like, oh baby, you seriously got me fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how dare you? It was literally like when I tell y'all, like, I couldn't have felt any lower. And then it was like the type of females that he would date, the type of females that he entertained, they're all low vibrational. They all got something going on with them. Like I don't know, like it's just, listen, these women are not of like any type of class for the most part. Like the ones that I've seen, like the few of them that I've been like in contact with like all the time, like they would always come to my page or they would like leave comments. Like the one girl turned into an entire stalker. Like when I tell y'all, she used to be like, you look like a Barbie doll, leaving comments. She kept texting me and calling me like we was friends. I said, baby, we're not friends. Like I don't want you calling me and texting me every day. Like, you know, we might have him in common, but that's as far as it goes. Like, that's as far as it goes. Like, we're not cool. We're not friends. We would never be friends. You know. Like, I think that you are absolutely insane. I think, like, around that time, I had got pregnant again. And then I had, like, got an abortion because I was just like, I'm not going to bring a child into this environment. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I was just like, no. Then he was crying over that. Like, when I tell y'all, this man was a whole actor. I don't know why he wanted to be a rapper, because he should have been an actor, because he's so good. Like when I tell y'all he good, child. Like this man can act his ass off. Like for real. Like he would have been on by now, like, because he's a good ass actor. When I tell y'all, I don't even think he a street dude. I think he's like a con artist. That's what I think. Like, I don't know. I think he's a con artist. Like the way he move like a baby, what's that guy name that had the movie with all them women? What's that movie? Y'all know the movie I'm talking about. What is that movie? The Tendler Swindler. He's like a baby Tendler Swindler. He's a baby one. Because he ain't really getting nothing out these women. Like, I don't know. He might get a couple racks or whatever. And I think the only reason why he get a couple racks, because I'm going to tell you, he's the type of dude that will talk to a female at the moment when he doing all right, when he doing okay. So it's like when these females see him and they see the clothes that he got on, he wearing Dior, he wearing Burberry, he wearing this, in their mind they automatically think that he's stable, like financially. But child, think about it. If you were a man and y'all done met each other, y'all together all of 2 or 3 months, and then he move into your house, how stable do you fucking think he really is? Because why would he need to move into your crib? Think about it. Like, I'll wait. Why does he need to move into your crib if he's that stable? He don't got no car. He don't got an apartment. You met him on his mama couch. Girl, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And then what would be funny to me, right, is that like when the female, she finally do get with him, and then she noticed that like that money that she saw him with in the beginning ain't consistent. Like it's only hitting like a couple months out the year, and the other months of the year he broke his dog or broke his shit and he's asking you for money. That's when it really be like, child. Anyway, eventually we broke up and we went our separate ways, and we broke up for like about a good 8 months, I believe. And I didn't speak to him at all. Like I had no communication with this man at all. And then one day, out of nowhere, he just calls my phone, and I was a little like what you want? But in the same token, I did miss him. You know, like I was with this person for so long that I was just like, damn, like I miss him. Like I missed who I thought was my best friend. Because now that I'm like, I'm good and I'm better, I know he was never my best friend. Never. So, yeah, I just feel like I missed who I thought was like my best friend, or like, you know, that person that you feel like is your person. So anyway, he happened to call me. I was at a party and we was just chit-chatting, and then he was just like, you know, how you doing, whatever. And I was just like, I'm good and whatever. But like in the back of my mind, like I felt like we was literally like not together for 8 whole months, and you did not call me not one time. So what would make you call me now? Like, you know, that's kind of like what I was thinking. And it was so funny because he called me at a particular time. This is another thing about narcissists. They are so calculated. Like, he called me at a particular time when I was just comfortable with not being around him. Because it takes time. When you've been with somebody for years, or you've been married for like years to someone, it takes a long time for you to get used to the fact that you're not actually with this person anymore. So it was like a good 8 months, and it had set in like, all right, Miko, you doing good, like, you know, you good, like, you good. I had finally felt back to myself again. Yeah, I was feeling good. I was feeling blessed. I was feeling happy. I was feeling fulfilled. Like, I felt like I was doing good. So when he called, it was just very strategic to me. Like, I was like, oh, really? So anyway, we get to talking. And the one thing that I noticed, right, is that every time I would stop talking to him and then talk to him again, my life, when I'm not talking to him, is so peaceful, so calm, so beautiful. Like, when I tell you, I don't be stressing about nothing. You understand me? And I noticed that every time he would come back into my life, two things would happen. My peace would be gone, and my blessings would be gone as well too. Everything will just come to a screeching halt. Like whatever I was working on, whatever project, whatever was in the works that I was sure that was gonna go through, immediately would not go through. Like, y'all know how many blessings that has came to me from God, and because I'm with this man, they did not fall through. I'm talking about just gone, like poof, out the thin air, like y'all wouldn't believe. But yeah, so he calls me, we speak, and then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I want to get back together, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I don't know, something just get to going in this brain, like, you know. And I owe it to God, because God always got my back. And he was like, yeah, I want to be together and blah blah blah. And I took all the text messages. Well, you know what, hold up, let's go back a little bit. There was another girl that he had been dealing with too. Some girl that was supposed to be his artist. God rest her soul, because the girl passed away or whatever. But yeah, he was dealing with her. And he literally used to make it seem like he wasn't effing this girl and everything, and he was. And all of a sudden, when he contacted me, all I could think about was her. Because I'm like, that's the last girl I knew of, like, having an issue with him was that girl. So every text message that he had been sending me, like, oh, I love you, I want to be back together, I want us to work at it, I can't be without you, I don't want to do life without you, I don't want this, I don't want that, you're my soulmate, da 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 da, we gotta figure this out, Miko, all of those text messages, guess what? I sent it over to old girl. Because, like, to me, I already knew he was a liar. I knew he was a liar. Okay? I knew he was a liar. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, cool. I screenshot, like, and I sent them all to her. So when I send them to her, right, she writes in her story, oh, something da, 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 like she going off, like she's going off on her stories. So I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So now he calls me and he's acting like he's beefing. But the crazy part is, he's not beefing because the girl told him anything. He's beefing because his spot is blown. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to play all of us women against each other. Like, you want me to be beefing with a chick that I don't even need to be beefing with, because I don't even know this girl. I don't know this girl. The only reason why I'm in contact with this girl is because of you. The only reason why this girl is in my life is because of you, because I don't know this girl. So I was like, oh, you playing a game. I was like, all right, cool. We gonna play the game. We gonna play the game. So now, oh, and I feel like the only reason why he contacted me was because he needed money. That's why he contacted me, because there was no reason for him to contact me. Then he was like, oh, come see me, come see me. And he was like, yeah, come see me, I'm in Arizona, come see me. So I was like, I don't know, because mind you, as much as this, let me tell y'all something, this man will go around and tell people that I'm broke and I don't got this and I don't got that. And I don't even know how he himself be believing that. Because at the end of the day, you just don't know my business. That's really what it is. You just don't know my business. Because when he hit me up, when we had been broken up for 8 months, when he contacted me, I wasn't broke. I was never broke. He called me like, oh, what's going on? What you got going on? What you doing? So I'm telling him like, oh yeah, I'm working on this. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. He even put me with like a few of his people. And we ended up working on some projects together and everything. So it was like, why you going around telling people that I'm broke? Like, boo, it never gave broke, ever. You just don't know my business. And every time you ask me for money, I'm broke because you're a user and you're an opportunist. So no. You understand what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm going to say it again. I'm a mother. I have a child. I am not letting a man come into my life thinking he about to use me for my money. You're not about to use me for my money. If you want to be here, you could be here. But as far as me giving you money, I'm not doing that. I'm really like that woman that like I let a man be a man. I'm used to real men. Like, if you need money, you gonna get up off your ass and you gonna get it. I'm not used to men asking women for money. I don't know men that do that. I know real men. They don't do that. They are providers. They don't do that. So it was very odd to me. So anyway, he's like, yeah, come to Arizona, come see me. I said, for what? And he's like, oh, I want to talk. I think we need to talk in person. We need to talk about the relationship. We need to this, we need to that. So I'm like, I was like, I don't know. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, I did it like a little vacation. So I said, okay, let me go make it a little vacation, make it into like a little content trip or whatever, and make it do what it do. So anyway, I go out there, I fly out there, and yeah, this man in somebody apartment squatting. It ain't nothing in there. Ain't no furniture in there. Ain't no nothing. It was just a bed. Like one little measly little bed in a room. And that was it. It was nothing in there. He was literally squatting in this apartment. Okay? So now I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, but I was like, whatever. So I'm there, and that's another thing too. Like me, I'm a very like, I don't want to say humble, but I'm a very understanding person. And I get that people go through things. But the way his energy be, like the way he be talking about people and trying to make them look bad and run their name through the mud. Oh, baby, I'm about to let you have it here. Okay? Because you can't talk about anybody else when you be like squatting. Literally. Like in people's apartment and just staying there knowing that you ain't supposed to be there. The tenant done moved out and you just in there squatting for weeks. For months. So that's what it was giving. That's what he was doing. Okay? So now I come through, and I guess he ain't had no money or whatever. And he ain't had no food really. You know, and again, he tried to play me off to be like a sucker. Like he tried to pull on my heartstrings. Like, you know that like I have a deep love for you. You know that I care about you. So you was like, you know that like if I could help you, I will. He know that. So when I go to Arizona now, I'm like, all right. I was low key excited. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I was excited. I was like, all right, I haven't seen him in so long. Like I miss him, whatever. But then when I got there, everything was fine. It was still cool, whatever. We went to go eat. We went to like In-N-Out Burger, whatever. We just got a few burgers, whatever. We ate outside. That was cool. We went to the supermarket. I packed out that fridge with some food because clearly he had no food. It was nothing in there. It was no food. It was no juice. It was no waters. It was nothing. Like he ain't have nothing. So I packed out the fridge with some food, especially like I'm gonna be there, and I'm a big like I don't eat out like that. Like I'm a person that likes to cook, so I'm like, yeah, we gonna go to the supermarket, we gonna grab some groceries, and we gonna figure it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't eat outside. I don't eat fast food. You know what I'm saying? And then I might eat fast food once in a while. So we ate In-N-Out Burger because that's on the West Coast and it's not on the East Coast, and I could barely eat In-N-Out, but that's it. Like I don't eat fast food like that. So anyway, yeah, we got the groceries, whatever, and we hanging out, we chilling. He tried to be intimate with me. I was like, no, I don't want to be intimate with you. Like, and like when I tell y'all, like I'm a very disciplined person. When I say no, I'm not doing that, that's what I mean. Like it ain't no like going back in. And I know like you know, some women be like weak to certain things like that. Like when they love a man and they be like, oh yeah, but like me, I'm not like that. Like, I'm like, I could love you to death, but I'm gonna do what's best for me. Like, so I was like, oh no, especially because we had been broken up for like a long period of time. It had been like 8 months. So now I'm already like, you know what I'm saying, my programming up here is different than when I was with you. Like I haven't been with you for 8 months. So I'm still moving on the program of being single. So I'm definitely looking out for me. So I'm like, yeah, we not having no sex. Like that's not gonna work for me because I don't know who you was dealing with prior to. You like to little stick your little wee and chicks unprotected, so I'm definitely not doing that. There would need to be some type of like paperwork going on. We need to get checkups, HIV tests going, all of that. Like we not doing none of that. So I was cool, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was cool on being intimate with him. I did not want to be intimate with him at all. So we was there, and then, you know, I was basically just like wondering, like, why did he want me here? Like, why did you call me here? And eventually I knew that it was about money. Like he needed money, especially because like he had put me to meet up with some of his people, and we had worked on a project and we had made some money, and then like all of a sudden it's like, you want me to come here? It was almost like because he put me with his people and we made money on the project that we worked on, he all of a sudden thought that I was like, I owed him something. It was like I owed him. You understand? Meanwhile, I never asked this man to connect me to these people. Like he connected me to the people. So it was like, oh, I'm gonna put you with my man. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, I think that y'all work together real good and da-da-da. So I'm like, all right, no problem. Like, you know, I'm thinking he just being hella regular. Lo and behold, he's only connecting me to his people because he's thinking like, oh, if I connect her with people and they work on the project and they all like make money, whatever, then she could come give me some money because he was broke. So when I got there, I said, listen, baby, I'm gonna tell you something. I said, me, I can't give you no money. I can't do that. I said, but one thing I can do is I can pack out this fridge. When I leave, you know, we already got some groceries right now, and when I leave, I can make sure you got more food. The one thing I was taught was to never leave a person hungry. But me giving you money, oh, baby, that I'm not that girl. Like, I am not that girl. Like, do I look like a sugar mama to you? Especially, I'm a female, I have a child. Like, I think about my child every step of the way, all the time. And now I have 2 kids. So, yeah, it's like, ain't no man coming before my kid. For sure, especially when I haven't even seen you in 8 months. I don't know what you got going on. So, yeah, that was in the back of my mind. I was like, yeah, it was very strategic that you hit me up right when you needed something. But you was trying to make it seem like you was missing me and you didn't. No, you wasn't. Finally, and then I left. We was never intimate on that trip. The entire trip, we were never intimate. Finally, I came back, but when I came back, I had left my iPad out there. So I left my iPad out there, and so he went through my iPad, and he was mad because I was talking to one of my friends, and I was telling him what had transpired between him and I in the relationship. So he was mad that I was talking bad about him to my friend, but I'm like, so what? Like, everything I said was a fact. I never stated no lies about you. Everything I stated was a fact. Like, I could see if somebody's like talking about you and they saying lies and they just making up stories. I never made up not one thing that I had said to my friend in my iPad or via text. Like, nothing was made up. Like, everything was the truth. So he was just literally mad that I told him, but this is my friend and that's my iPad. Like, I can do what I want. Meanwhile, this man Bob, he was talking about me with every chick he would lay up with. Like, every chick he would lay up with, he would dog my name out to them to make them feel better about themselves so that he could get in their drawers. Like, if you gotta do that just to get some kitty, baby, that's a sad story. Because I don't gotta bring up another dude or even talk about my dude to another man for me to get something, whatever I want out of him. I don't have to do that. I could just act like you don't exist. Like, that's what I can do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I found that to be really strange, that it was like a double standard. He was mad because I told my truth. Like, how you mad at me? So that was that. So then I left, whatever. He was mad about that, but then he kind of like got over it. He had to, because again, we could go down the list. Like, when it comes to him, or when it comes to like these type of relationships, you gotta write out a list of like the pros and the cons. Like, you know what I'm saying? And his cons by far exceeded the pros, okay? Like, he would do all these things and then he'll do like one big thing, like, oh, I'm gonna go pay thousands of dollars for your breasts. And then even when he do that, right, it's still for him. It wasn't like, oh, he got my breasts done because he knew that I wanted it and he just wanted to make me happy. No, it's like a constant reminder, like, oh yeah, I got her breast done. Like, look, I did that. Like, you know, like the narcissistic mentality. It's like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh, look at me, she with this new dude, but look, I did that. Like, it's just like I don't know. It's very like deranged and demented. Like, I just can't. So when I started to realize like how he was as a person, I was just like, oh yeah, two could play this game. And that's really what it was. Like, the whole time in the relationship, he probably felt like he was getting a one-up on me, but he really wasn't when you think about it. Like, he was not getting the one-up on me. The only thing I will say is, like, I felt like I was really in love with him, and he knew that, and he used that to his advantage to, like, manipulate. That's what he did. But the manipulation wasn't working that good because he ain't never got no money from me. And that's T, okay? Okay? He ain't never got no money from me. I don't give a damn how good the little eggplant is. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how good, like, the lickety lick might be. Like, baby, the one thing I do is use this. This is what I use. On top of that, you was a whole cheater. So ain't no way that I was going to sit up there and be giving this man money knowing damn well that he be trying to act like he the man around other females, because that's what he do. If you a female and you dealing with a dude that's like like a narcissist, baby, this man, and he asks you for money, this man is going to take your money and he's going to go around other females and act like he has money. And then he's going to come back and he's going to tell you a sob story about why you don't have this money or why this money ain't flip or nothing. Like, girl, let me tell you something. I learned so much in this relationship. Like, I learned so much. Like, I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that I was able to go through this so that I was able to reap the benefits of these lessons, because, baby, now I'm even more of a savage. You hear me? Like, I'm even more of a savage. Like, these men don't want nothing. When you see me come in, you need to run. Okay? You need to run. Because I was a savage then. But now, after this experience, oh, baby. It ain't happening at all. And now it's just like, it just made me work on the things that I needed to work on for me, for Miko. Like, you know, like, don't go back on your boundaries. Set boundaries. Have negotiables. Have non-negotiables. And when somebody break them shits, you get rid of their ass. And that's just the end of it. Because it's better to do it in the beginning than to wait until it's all long and drawn out when you done invested years into the relationship, or got a child out of the relationship, and now it's just, now you gotta be in contact with this person. You understand? But I'm gonna tell y'all something. The one thing about me, I ain't gotta be in contact with a motherfucking soul. Like, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do as a parent, you getting cut out. Period. I don't even play like that. I don't even play like that. You're not gonna play with me. You're not gonna play with my kids. I'm not giving you the chance to come in and out like what you do in your everyday toxic life with your little supplies. We not doing that. You understand what I'm saying? It's either you gonna be a real man and you gonna step up to the plate and you gonna be a father, or you're gonna be out. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. I'm totally fine with that. Like, I am enjoying my peace. I don't have to deal with any like headaches or like people putting me through drama and triangulating me with other situations. Like, I am so good and I'm so happy, and that's just that on that. Okay, I get back to New York from Arizona, and yeah, basically he's like, he want to be together, and he want to be together, and we want to try again. So here we go. And I don't know why, like, this is where I'm dumb at. Like, you understand, ladies? Like, take it from me. Listen to what I'm telling y'all, because, baby, Again, dumb, but you be dumb for some love, child. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. And it's like I was dumb, but I wasn't dumb. Like, I don't know how to even explain it, like, to y'all. Like, I was dumb, but I wasn't dumb. Because I was like, I'm dumb to be in love with you when I love you, but I'm not dumb to give you my money. I don't know. It makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to y'all, but it makes sense to me. So I was like, okay. He wants to try again. So I was like, you know what? We'll see. Again, he put that little mask on. He do what it do. He make it work. And he's like, he's doing everything that he's supposed to do. Because he knows I'm watching. He knows I'm observing. So that's what they do. They do whatever they do in the beginning for a good 2-3 months, and then when they get tired of the whole hoax, then they just go back to themselves again once they feel like you locked in again. And that's kind of what happened. But I'm not going to go no further, and I'm going to save the rest of this for part 4. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.